Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Tuesday, the 18th of June, 2024. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the Reserve Bank of Australia board left the official cash rate on hold today at 4.35%. The central bank sounded a touch more hawkish than previous meetings, highlighting the challenges involved with getting inflation lower. Following the announcement, market economists said there was a slightly higher chance of a rate rise in the future, though most believe the next move will be down, and that will occur late this year or early next year. Story number 2, the S&P ASX 200 closed the day up 1% to 7,778 points, notwithstanding a slight hiccup after the Reserve Bank rates announcement. Utilities led the way, followed by financials and industrials, and it was one of the best sessions in more than a month. Commonwealth Bank hit an all-time high, closing at $127.98, up 2% on the day. That's despite high-profile investor Phil King saying he's betting against the bank, expecting its share price to fall. National Australia Bank also jumped 2% to reach another 9-year high. Macquarie Group surged 2.6%, while CSL, ANZ, Telstra, Transurban, Aristocrat Leisure and Coles all outperformed. Best on the day was toll road group Atlas Arteria, which rose more than 5%, while Sigma Healthcare was up another 4.5%. Worst was Fortescue. Its share price tumbled 5.2% following a $1.1 billion block trade on Monday night after the closing bell. Now, a block trade is a privately negotiated sale or purchase of a large block of shares, in this case, Fortescue Metals Group. Media reports say the trade was being offered at $21.60 a share, a 6% discount to Fortescue's last trading price. Beach Energy share price fell 2.2% after the energy group said it will cut spending, operating costs and jobs and raise the hurdle on returns for future projects in a bid to improve the company's performance. All in all, a very busy day on the market. Story number 3, Communications Minister Michelle Rowland said she is very keenly watching studies in Australia about the effect of social media on children's health, though she stopped short of endorsing a push in the US for cigarette-style warnings. Earlier this week, the US Surgeon General suggested that warnings be placed on social media due to risks to kids' mental health. Mr. Rowland today said she was very keenly watching several reviews and trials the government has commissioned on the problems from social media, including Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. She also mentioned a trial of an age threshold to use social media apps. She said Australia was ahead on regulation and delivered education programs in schools to warn about the dangers of social media. It comes in a week that both sides of politics have endorsed the concept of lifting the legal age for accessing social media from 13 years to 16 years. Story number 4, yesterday we heard about the Pollies getting a pay rise. Now it's the public servants, with the head of the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet becoming the first federal bureaucrat to earn more than $1 million a year. Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet Secretary Glenn Davis is the highest paid secretary in the public service. He'll take home an extra $34,000 a year in line with the new changes that come into effect on July 1. That takes his salary to $1,011,402. Treasury Secretary Stephen Kennedy will receive $33,000 more, takes him to about $986,000, while Level 3 department secretaries covering departments like Attorney Generals, Defence, Education, Finance, Home Affairs, they'll receive a $32,000 pay rise to $961,000. Remember, this compares to the Prime Minister's salary of $607,000. And story number 5, the New South Wales budget was released today. Higher property taxes is a feature, as is more frontline public servants and 9 years of budget deficits. There weren't any energy rebates, as other states have offered, but transfer duties and land tax will deliver nearly $8 billion extra over the next 4 years. The budget shows that the state's GST revenue will be about $6 billion lower than previously forecast through to 2028. In terms of spending, the government is aiming to deliver 30,000 new homes on surplus government land that will be freed up for development. There'll also be money for domestic violence support services, a rebate of payroll tax to GPs who bulk bill, and more money for more essential workers. There's also $1.5 billion for maintenance at hundreds of public schools across the state, and more money for health services in regional Australia. That's it for the afternoon report for Tuesday, the 18th of June, 2024. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed, the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.